Hi, my name is Pat. I'm currently teaching middle school math and I am part of Ed Equity. We are an organization with the goal of providing free education to underprivileged children around the world. Today I'll be going over a subtopic of ratios called equivalent ratios. In the previous video on ratios, we introduced the concept of ratios, so if you're not familiar with ratios yet, you may want to watch that. Otherwise, let's get straight to the video. Equivalent ratios are two different ratios that are the same when both are completely simplified. Another way to verify if two ratios are equivalent is to see if you can multiply or divide the corresponding parts of the ratio by the same number to get the other ratio. Let's take a look at an example. So in this example, you can see that 3 times 3 equals 9 and 4 times 3 is equal to 12. So this is an equivalent ratio because both numbers 3 and 4 multiplied by 3 is equal to the other ratio. So in this example we have the ratio 5 to 7 and 15 to 28. So you could multiply 5 by 3 to get 15, but you would have to multiply 7 by 4 to get 28. So since these two numbers are not equal to each other, this is not an equivalent ratio. So in this example we're given a ratio 30 to 15 and we have to determine which of these options, A, B, C, and D, are equivalent ratios. So let's look at the first one. So 15 times 2 over 15 equals 2, since 15 cancels out. So let's do the same thing to 30 times 2 over 15. And so you would be left with 2 in the numerator when you divide 30 by 15. So 2 times 2 is equal to 4. So this is not correct. So it would have to be 4 and 2. Okay, so let's look at B. So 15 times 1 over 15 equals 1. So let's do the same thing. Multiply 115. So 30 over 15, you'd be left with 2. So this would be 2 over 1. So yeah, this is good. Let's do the same thing to C and D. Let's repeat the same process. Okay, so 15 times 1 over 3 equals 5. So let's do the same thing. 1 over 3. So 30 over 3 is 10. So yeah, this is good. Okay, so let's look at D. 15 times 1 over 5 equals 3. So let's see. 30 times 1 over 5. So that would actually be 6. So it would be 30 divided by 5, and that's 6. So this should be 6, 3, but that's clearly not the case, so D is not the correct option. So the correct choices were B and C. Let's take a look at a word problem. So there are 5 tadpoles for every 3 frogs in a pond, and there are 20 tadpoles for every ... frogs in the pond. So you'd have to solve this problem. You'd have to find the equivalent ratio. So let's do that. So tadpoles and tadpoles. So 5 times 4 equals 20. So let's do the same thing to the number of frogs. So frogs and frogs. 3 times 4 the answer is 12. Let's take a look at another word problem. Tyler is preparing cupcakes for his birthday party guests. He needs 12 cupcakes for 6 guests. If he had 12 guests, how many cupcakes will he need? So let's write out the ratio of cupcakes to guests. So it will be 12 to 6. So that's the number of cupcakes and the number of guests. And so the problem asks if he had 12 guesses, how many cupcakes will he need? So we know that the second ratio is 12 for the number of guests. So 12. So to get to 6 to 12, you'd have to multiply by 2. So let's multiply this side by 2 to find out how many cupcakes will he need. So 12 times 2 is 24. So he will need 24 cupcakes. So let's take a look at the last word problem for today's video. At Comic-Con, there are 5 people who dressed as Batman, 10 dressed as Spider-Man, 2 dressed as Joker, and 7 dressed as Loki. For every 14 Lokis, there are 10 ... So in this problem, you would be finding the equivalent ratio of the characters. So let's see. Start out by writing the number of people dressed as Batman, so 5. 10 people dressed as Spider-Man, so 10. 2 dressed as Joker, so 2. And then 7 dressed as Loki, so 7. And let's see. So in the second scenario, you have 14 Lokis, so 14. So to get to 7 to 14, you have to multiply by 2. So we have to see which characters multiplied by 2 would equal 10. So let's start out by number 2. So that's Joker. So multiply by 2 equal 4. That's not it. So 10 multiplied by 2 equals 20. So that's not it. 5 multiplied by 2 is 10. So yeah, that's what we're looking for. So that would be Batman. So for every 14 Lokis, there are 10 Batman, or Batman, whatever you choose to call it. So that will be it for the video. So thank you for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful.